What is the chance of Vince McMahon retiring for real? No chance in hell. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Wrestling. We actually have some good news for a change, and that is Vincent Kennedy McMahon is planning to come back to the WWE in 2023. He is planning a U-turn on his retirement, and he should, in 2023, be the man again in charge of World Wrestling Entertainment. Now, why is that good news, you might ask? So, I'll tell you why it's good news. Look, I'm under no illusion that McMahon was in charge. Wrestling wasn't good. The product absolutely sucked. It did. It was shit. But, guess what? It's still shit now, and it hasn't got any better. In fact, you can make a really good case it's gotten worse. Now, when Triple H first took over, you know what, the first month, first 6 weeks, I gave it the benefit of the doubt. I noticed some little changes that he was doing, and I thought, you know what, I appreciate him trying stuff different. He had you would see like one segment, but there would be like two different things going on. You'd have your primary segment, but then like there'd be secondary things going on in the background. And I thought, you know what, that's not bad. That's kind of alright. But then the later it went on, I just realised, you know what, this is the same old fucking shit. This isn't getting any better. In fact, I actually think the show's got worse. I do believe that, actually. Raw and SmackDown now, they were unwatchable before, but I mean, now they're really, really unwatchable. And I think the main reason why I welcome a Vince McMahon return is because at least McMahon's bad. He might be a bit clueless, he might be old, he might do all this stuff, he might get into sexual relations with people and all that crap. But then again, honestly, if he wants to pay someone to have sex with him and it's consensual, why should we care? Why is that anyone's business? Surely that's just between him and, like, you know, the woman that he's paying. If Linda McMahon has a problem with it, I can totally understand that. It's his fucking wife, but why should we care? Why should the fans care? Why should the wrestlers care? Why should the other, you know, executives and shareholders care? No one should care. Vince McMahon's a grown man. He's not just a grown man, he's a genetic jackhammer with big, massive grapefruits. And if he wants to use those grapefruits on a woman, then he is entitled to do so. The whole stepping down thing was ridiculous, in my opinion. I know he did use some company money, and that was wrong. He should have used his own money, but still, he shouldn't have had to quit because of it. It's fucking his company. McMahon created wrestling. But anyway, before I get sidetracked, the reason why I would prefer McMahon over Triple H, for one reason alone, at least McMahon doesn't have a pure, massive hard-on for NXT, Black and Gold, and indie jobbers. Triple H's hard-on for this shit's bigger than his fucking nose, and trust me guys, that nose is massive, so you can imagine how he feels about NXT, man. The guy's constantly erect because of NXT. Johnny Gargano, bringing him back. People like Dakota Kai, Tegan Knox, Emma. Absolute garbage that don't belong in the WWE, never will belong in the WWE, and Triple H is bringing them back. Look at the latest fat bastard he brought on Raw, Bronson Reed. Where's this guy going? I'll tell you where he's going, straight in the bin. The guy sucks. So I'm sick of Triple H bringing back, and it's worse, when he brought back Johnny Gargano, I swear to God, for the first like 2 months, Gargano was like literally taking up like 40 minutes of fucking Raw. Damage Control were taking up about another, literally half a Raw was taken up by Damage Control and Johnny Gargano. At least that wasn't happening when McMahon was in charge. And Jesus, at least you didn't have to see Damage Control. They only came around when Triple H, I think Triple H's first pay-per-view is when Damage Control debuted. So, I mean, for that reason alone, I mean, come on, that reason alone, Triple H sucks. Look at the returns. Bray Wyatt's return absolutely sucked. Braun Strowman's return, a monster. Nah, he's a big fucking pussy wearing skinny red jeans. Who else has returned? Loads of people have returned, and every single one of them has sucked. Name me one person that's... Dexter Lumis. You know, the first month or two, it was good. And then we found out that he's just working for money and the whole thing was a setup. How garbage is that? Seriously, how crap was that? We're supposed to believe Dexter's this like real fucking stalker, this real sociopath, psychopath, and it turns out nah, he's just a normal guy that like just like everyone else works for money. I mean, unbelievable. This crap is unbelievable. So you know what? I will take McMahon back. And WWE did release a lengthy statement on this, or McMahon released a lengthy statement. I'm not going to read it all because it is very long. However, Basically, I will simplify it. There's a short tweet that was made, and it kind of just sums it up in about 144 words, or I think you can use more than 144 words on Twitter nowadays. But anyway, it says, quote, Mr. McMahon, who has majority voting power through his ownership of WWE's Class B stock, has told the company that he is electing himself and two former co-presidents and directors, Michelle Wilson and George Barrios, to the board. The people said the move to reinstate Mr. McMahon, which the board previously rebuffed, and the others will require 3 current directors to vacate their positions. End of quote. So, essentially, McMahon is coming back. He's bringing 2 former co-presidents and directors with him, and for that to happen, 3 people that are currently serving as directors will have to step down and vacate their position. I've no idea how many directors are in WWE. I don't know any of that stuff. I mean, I could look up, but honestly, that's not really important to me. What I do know is, though, McMahon is coming back. It appears because he has the majority. He has the ownership of the Class B stock, whatever, so he has majority voting power. So, from what I'm gathering here, he can't be, this return can't be shut down. Essentially, if McMahon wants to return, he can. It's essentially up to him, and it looks like he does want to return, and he's not coming alone. He's bringing Michelle Wilson and George Barrios with him. No idea who those 2 are, but he's bringing them with him. No mention of John Laurinaitis, though. Looks like John Laurinaitis is biting the bullet. He will not be back. But tell you what, guys, I think we need McMahon back. Honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. Well, actually, I can believe it, because I think we all knew Triple H. We've seen his love for NXT Black and Gold, and I think we all feared that he would try and bring that into Raw and SmackDown, and he has. I mean, come on, guys, how boring is Raw? I mean, there's no storylines, there's no actual feuds. Majority of the Raw roster is made up of guys you'd expect to see on the independent circuit. Every single match goes through like 3 commercial breaks. It's all boring as fuck. How many stars are on Raw? Honestly, not that many. How many people do you look at on Raw and think, wow, they can main event WrestleMania? Seriously, how many of them? None. I mean, Raw's so bad, they don't even feel the need to have a world title on it. Now, surely, if Raw was full of main event talents that were, world title level, then they would need to put a world title on Raw, because there would be a demand for it. But could you imagine, back in the day, you've got Austin and Rock on a brand that had no world title? Would never happen. But Raw these days, you can get away with having no world title, because who are you going to put the belt on? Johnny Gargano? Absolutely no chance. So yeah, I mean, I'm not. What does surprise me, we've seen over the years that Triple H, loves this indie wrestling and stuff, and that's fine. If he wants to go down that route, that's fair enough. But I think what really surprises me is, look at Triple H, look at the era he came up in. He broke into wrestling in the 90s. He got his rise to fame. He became a main event star in the Attitude Era. And then, he became the guy. Well, he was never really the guy, but he was the guy that hogged the belt. He was never the man in WWE. But when it came around to the Ruthless Aggression Era, he pretty much dominated Raw for years and years and years. So the guy came up, and his rise to fame really began in the late 90s, and then after Rock and Austin went, he pretty much became the guy that never lost. He wasn't the John Cena. He wasn't the main guy, but he was the guy that had the belt and just didn't lose because he's Triple H, he's married to Stephanie McMahon. The point being is here, Triple H has seen a lot of good wrestling. He's been in the 2, in my opinion, the 2 best eras, clearly, in wrestling history. The Attitude Era and the Ruthless Aggression Era. He knows what stars are, right? He's helped create stars. He was in Evolution with Batista and Randy Orton. He has worked with stars. He worked with Shawn Michaels and DX. He worked against the likes of Austin and Rock. He's been in the locker room with the likes of fucking Taker and all these guys. This guy has spent years with the best that wrestling's had to offer. So I honestly do not know how Triple H can go from that, how he can, his whole career be around stars and be in eras that were great, and all of a sudden he is completely fucking thrown all that philosophy out the window and pushed this NXT Black and Gold indie garbage down our throats when it's not what people want to see. It's not going to make wrestling popular. It's not what the average fan wants to see. Maybe people that think wrestling's still real and they like seeing 5'2" midgets because these people look like them, or they like seeing fat bums because it reminds them of themselves. But most people want larger than life stars. Most people want guys with charisma, guys that can entertain, guys like Rock, guys like Austin. Most people do not want Johnny Gargano. Fucking Triple H knows Johnny Gargano doesn't work because when he was coming up in the wrestling business, there was no Johnny Gargano on top. But for some reason, Triple H continues to push this garbage, and it is absolutely shit. And at least with McMahon, at least we will not get this. At least McMahon will come in and he will push the guys that draw, the guys that actually matter, the guys that look like they are stars, and the guys that look like they will main event WrestleMania. So that's it, guys. Mini rant over here. McMahon, is he great? No. Well, he is great, but is he great with wrestling shows in 2022? No. Do I expect WWE to get better? No. But do I expect at least McMahon to come in and steady the ship a little bit and push the right people and get garbage off our TV screens? Yes. Hopefully. So hopefully that's what will happen, guys. Let me know your thoughts down below. I choose McMahon over Triple H any day of the week. Triple H has completely lost me with his NXT fascination. I don't get it. I don't understand why he thinks this NXT shit is good. I don't understand why Triple H thinks that Johnny Gargano and guys like that are good for wrestling. I honestly don't, because Triple H, like I said, he knows what works. He's been around what's worked. He's worked with people that did work, you know. And yet he continues to push this shit, man. Honestly, guys, I don't get it. I really do not get it. But McMahon coming back in 2023, we'll see what happens. Let me know your thoughts down below. I welcome the McMahon return, but yeah, man, Triple H. It's crazy. It's crazy how a legend like Triple H has just completely gone against the grain. He's gone against everything, and he is, you know... I don't get it, man. I don't get it, guys. Let me know what you think down below. But Triple H, for me, I never want to see him in charge again. Hopefully, he should step down. He should do the right thing and step down. I didn't think WWE could get as bad as it is right now, but it is awful. And people are going to say I'm exaggerating. I'm not. WWE's awful. It is. If you're honest, if you look in the mirror, why defend it? I mean, why defend it? It sucks. It sucks, guys. Anyway, I'm out. I've got a headache now. Don't see the point ranting anymore. Fucking sucks. Till next time. Peace.